in part one. And we should just give a mention to John Ryan. He was featured on the Connect Pembrokeshire social media pages. John, at the age of 65, played in goal for Camrose Seconds at the weekend, and he picked up a clean sheet. They had a 2-0 win against Haverfordwest Cricket Club, who are a decent side themselves, kept a clean sheet and helped them to a 2-0 win. Good, I like that. 65 and still playing.
That's incredible, isn't it? That's what, it's a game for everybody, but even pensioners can play Premiership League football. John's been playing a long time. I remember him well playing for cricket as well, as an outfield player. And play cricket as well, Fraser. You're right. He just loves his sport. But you always pick up these stories around local football or cricket. The aging members still taking part. It's brilliant.
I tell you, he looks in good shape as well, to be fair.
He does. Fair play.
He's always got a special place in my heart. 2008. Division 5, Llanrhian Seconds against Camrose, title decider. He gave an ALBW against his own side when they had one wicket left.
Fraser.
One wicket left and 2 runs to win.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's bold.
He's as honest as the day is long, mate.
He doesn't know it, but he's actually a Llanrhian legend.
Well, you know it now.
Well deserved.
And funnily enough, when I saw that he was playing in goal, I sent the photo around to the boys and said, "Greatness lasts forever."
Never has to buy a drink in Llanrhian. Yeah, absolutely right. Okay, let's get into the rugby, because Six Nations now done and dusted. So it meant that our clubs could take centre stage once more, which is good to see. And we're very much at the business end, really, with some interesting things to come for a number of our sides. Let's start in the Premiership. And actually, when we spoke to Ricky Guest on the show during the Six Nations, and he was on again in the first hour talking to KT, one of the things he said, that the margins in the Premiership are so fine, and quite a few times this season it's not quite gone Narberth's way, and they need to learn a bit from that. They lost again narrowly 30-25 away to Ystrad Rhondda, which means actually, Fraser, they're just one spot above the relegation places, but with a decent run of games to come. But that was another one that was so close.
Yeah, and it could have been worse day for them, actually, Ben. Llanelli Wanderers just below them, surprisingly pushing Pontypridd to the wire. Pontypridd winning 34-31 there, 2 bonus points for the Wanderers, and had they won it, they would have risen above Narberth. They'd be in the bottom 2 by now. Look, their next 3 games are massive. They're at home to Brecon. I think they then go to Newbridge, and then they're at home to Llangennech. Llangennech 1 place above them, Brecon obviously rock bottom. Those 2 home games they have to win, I would say, and Newbridge is a game they want to target as well.
I think the other way around, actually, Faith. I think Brecon home, I think Newbridge home, and then Llangennech away. So I think it's back to back home games. I think,
either way, the Brecon and Llangennech games are must win. The teams who are right around them, and Newbridge at home especially, they want to target as well. So these next 2 or 3 games are vital. Look, with the exception of Brecon, to be honest, it's a brutal league. It's an old phrase, everyone can be anyone, but we've just seen that there, haven't we? But it's almost ridiculous to think where they are, given that they've beaten Pontypridd, I think, this season, isn't it? And and as we looked at there, Llanelli Wanderers, you'd think that was a banker win for Pontypridd there. Llanelli Wanderers in the bottom 2, pushing the league leaders to the wire, And you're right, Ben, what you say is right. There's been too many games where they've competed well. Obviously, they've been in it and not quite got over the line. It's important as well that they have picked up a lot of losing bonus points, because that helps keep you up as well. Yeah. But they'll certainly be looking back on a lot of fixtures and probably ruining the fact they're not a good few points higher up the table.
Actually, Gord, that was what Ricky sort of said to us, wasn't it? One of his frustrations and one of the things his squad need to learn is how to get games over the line. And as you just said, thank goodness, really, for the big win against Pontypridd, because, without that, the table would look different.
Yeah, as you're talking there, it's a league. In that league, everybody is capable of beating each other on their given day. So Narberth have been slightly unlucky, but they need to game management has got to be better by them. If they're in front, they need to keep their noses in front and keep pushing forward and doing the right things. But obviously the pressure, it gets you on times. No matter how good a player you are, you have to actually soak it all up and get that result. And I think Narberth will hopefully get over the line and stay up this season. They deserve to, because it's mainly, we spoke about it before, it's mainly a local Pembrokeshire flavour to the Narberth lineup, and we want to keep a Pembrokeshire Pembrokeshire side at the top echelon of Welsh rugby. So hopefully they'll get a result this coming Saturday against Brecon, and Llangennech as well. That's winnable, and then we'll see where we are going into the final game of the season then.
Yeah, I think the focus will. Yeah, it's not far off. The focus will be laser, really, Fraser, because he'll also say, we can't take Brecon for granted. It's a home game against a side that are rock bottom, but you've got to turn up and you've got to put them away.
Oh, 100%. I don't think there'll be any complacency, Ben. It's going to simply have to win, to be honest with you. And when you look at, the games that they do have towards the end of the season, I know now with it, they're going straight into May. They've got to go to Llanelli Wanderers in May, which could prove pivotal. Yeah,
they do. The season goes right to the bitter end, doesn't it? And it is going to be close. I just think they might draw on that experience. They've done it last season. They stayed up. It was close last year. In fact, do you remember, Gordon, at one point we did think they might go?
We did. We thought they were gone, but they had the rubber, the green. And Llanelli Wanderers, I believe, is run by Sean Gale, is it not?
That's right.
So there's ex-Narberth coach there against his old side. It's going to be interesting. His son, Nick Gale, will be playing fullback, and he kicked plenty of points for the Otters going back over the years. So it's going to be a great end of the season. Let's hope the Otters do actually stay up. And I shouldn't say it. New Duck Stars go down.
Well, you just did. Good, that's fine. And just dropping down the division, it's been a difficult season for Crymych, and a team that we've featured quite a bit on this show over the years. They were beaten by Newcastle Emlyn at the weekend, 35-12. So relegation looks pretty certain now. It's going to be some turnaround. What's been the issue there, Fraser? After a couple of really productive seasons, really, it's been a struggle in that division, and another league that's a tough one, isn't it?
It's a tough league, Ben. They've struggled for numbers and they've struggled to travel, and that's had a knock-on effect with their second team, hasn't it? The second team have had to forfeit a number of league fixtures. Look, I always felt Crymych, in fairness to them, punched above their weight, did remarkably well to get up to Championship West. It was always going to be very difficult. They don't have the surrounding area to draw in many players like they do other Championship sides do, of course. It's such an isolated place, Crymych. And they probably don't have the financial clout that other sides in that league do as well to bring boys in. So, look, it's been a tough proposition for them. It's involved, like I said, a lot of travelling. They have had injuries. They also, Elgan Vittel, of course, leaving last year, came to the end of the road there with a very experienced head coach. They've had to almost build a new coaching staff back up. They're a young side. Crymych will be okay. Crymych have always looked after themselves in terms of bringing players through and building for the future. The future of their second team, I think, is less certain, I'm honest, if this lack of numbers continues. But in terms of their first team, I think they will go down and rebuild fine. I don't see them falling off a cliff. They're not a club that ever does. They're so well run. I'm not overly surprised they've gone down because, like I said, I think they did remarkably well to get up. It was always going to be a very, very difficult league for them.
Yeah. And if they go down, they could be in the same division as Tenby next season, Gord, or will they? Because Tenby are still in the promotion mix. Talking about close games, they got over the line, didn't they, just about on Saturday? They beat Vellenvold 27-24. Tenby are third, but with 2 games in hand, and that's a close division.
Yeah, Jonathan Evans and the boys there, Ozzy Boswell and the likes, they've been involved in rugby for a long time. Tenby got some quality players as well, and they'll definitely be there or thereabouts. In fact, they should gain promotion with 2 games in hand. They should do it this season. So,
in fact, 3. They've got 3 on Swansea.
Okay, well, they'll never have a better opportunity, and they know that. You don't have to tell them. Tenby will go out, and they'll go out all guns blazing to get promotion, and they've got enough quality to go up. The next level, as Crymych found out, is tough. Tenby have got a bigger sort of area to pick from, like Fraser was saying about being a bit isolated. Tenby will definitely be able to attract more quality players to play at the higher level, but the boys that have got them there deserve to have a crack at it as well. So, I expect Tenby to get promoted, Ben, if you're asking me that.
I think this change in weather, if that's what this is, We'll see how long it lasts. It could suit them because they score tries, Tim. They score tries.
Yeah, they do. They play running rugby, Fraser. They like to run it from everywhere.
They do. And you look another 27-24 win on Saturday. You look at some of their score lines. The last game they lost actually in Lampeter was 26-24. They rarely fail to get that 4-try bonus point. And if the grounds are going to harden up and the sun's going to come out a bit, I think it'll play into their hands.
Yeah, you'll see the best of Tenby when the sun is shining. And that's not just in the town. It'll be at Haywood Lane.
I tell you what, though, guys, their running they've got a good running, but they're going to be busy in April, so they don't play next weekend, and then they've got games from Easter Saturday on, so 4th, 11th, 18th, 22nd, 25th, and the 2nd of May to close out the season. That includes a midweek game against Kidwelly. So, they're going to be busy. If they're going to get promoted, April into May is going to be exciting at Tenby. But then that's not easy, Fraser, is it, to keep churning those games out?
Oh, no, it won't be very difficult for them. And where do they go on the 2nd of May? Buryport to finish the season, or second place, one place above them. There's going to be some huge fixtures coming. They've obviously still got the Pembrokeshire Cup final, to play as well. But they are now out of the Division 1 WRU Cup, which they were very disappointed about, but may work in their favour. They haven't got that distraction as well.
Yeah, okay. Let's pick out some scores from elsewhere as well. And it is good because we've not had local rugby to feature, so it's good to get through some of these. And Gord, Haverfordwest, your team, of course, had a good win, 34-22 at Tumble.
Tenby's my team, Ben.
It changes every week, mate. I can't.
No, Haverfordwest, home. That's my home club. Yes, definitely. They've had a terrific season, to be fair to them, and that was a terrific win at Tumble, because I seen the home fixture early in the season, and Tumble beat Haverfordwest, so they did well to turn that around on Saturday, and they put themselves in a good position, top of the table, but. Top two go up in that division. Haverfordwest should, where they are now, get promotion, and that's a good move forward for the town. They'd be delighted with that.
Yeah, very much in contention and top of the table, having played 14 games. Tumble are in third, and Tumble have also played 14, so that was an important win. New Dock Stars have got 2 in hand. But, again, Fraser, at this point in the season, having points on the board is worth something as well, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Haverfordwest in a good run of form. They've still got to go to Milford. That's going to be tasty after what went down there last time. They've still got it's one of those.
It's always been tasty, Fraser.
Yeah, So look, it's almost as good for to say it's in their hands now. If mate Scott Candler there, we spoke to him in the first hour. He's still running tries. He kept his fast twitch muscle fibers slightly longer than some of us for sure, but he's proven a big player for them. But no, they're on a roll. Haverfordwest at the moment, they've got every chance. I think New Dock Stars are the team to watch for them. They've got the games in hand, like you said, in Haverfordwest. New Dock Stars next 2 games at home to Neyland and Cardigan. You would expect them to win both of those. Haverfordwest are going to have to keep winning. There's no doubt about that. It will go to the wire, but they're right in it. They are right in it.
Yeah, okay. From Gordon's team to what about your team, Fraser? Whitland have had a
He's St David's boy.
He's a Whitland legend though as well. Don't forget.
Which one? Yeah, I would say that's Whitland down. If I'm honest with you, they might forgive me saying it, but they were hammered in Abereyron. It would have been a hammer blow for them then to see that Pencloud got the draw with Fishguard, which actually takes Pencloud above Whitland, puts them in the relegation zone. Pencloud have Betus at home to play this Saturday. Was struggling to even fulfill fixtures, let alone win them. I think their last game was 104-0 defeat, wasn't it? So that basically means Whitland have 2 games remaining. They're going to have to win both. They already have to win one. Assuming Pencloud win, they're going to have to win both. They're at home to Nantgaredig. They then play Abereyron at home, who they just lost to 74-15.
Wow.
So it's been a funny week, Ben. I'd say relegation isn't confirmed. They'll still keep fighting. Of course they will. But I would say they're on the brink now. But this comes... as they've announced Lee Rees and Stuart Worrell as coaches next year. Played with Stuart Worrell, tremendous player, and played from the Premiership then for Llantyfri. And Lee Rees, obviously, Wales Sevens experience. His 2 big coaches they've brought in to be coaching at the moment in Division 3 West A. So it's going to be very interesting what materialises there this summer. I doubt you would bring coaches of that calibre in unless there were guarantees over the playing squad. I'm not being disrespectful. I don't think they'll be coming to work with this squad either, which would suggest there is changes afloat this summer. But for now, the media was ahead of them. They just have to win twice. There's no other way out of it now. So
an interesting future, though, Fraser. Whatever happens in terms of relegation, with the new coaching team, some new players potentially.
Very interesting. I would assume so, Ben, to bring in coaches of that caliber, that they have either guaranteed new players or these coaches have got players that they're able to bring in with them. Look, we don't know. We're not privy to discussions of what's going on, but I would be very, very surprised if coaches of that caliber are coming to coach his current squad. I'll say that.
Okay.
Probably.
Couple more to call out just before we wrap up part 2. Fishguard and Goodwick were on the road Gord at the weekend. They were playing Pen Cloud, and that was another interesting one because that finished 24-all.
Right. Yeah, that would have been a highly entertaining game, to be fair. The seagulls trying to peck the cockles, that would have been very interesting game. Both sides play open rugby. Fishguard have had quite a decent season as well. They've been playing some good rugby.
I think the problem was, Gord, there wasn't enough seagulls to peck. They only travelled with 15.
Oh, exactly, mate. Exactly. No, all jokes aside, they've had a half decent season for them. They've competed well at the Moors this season, and I've managed to catch a bit of their games when I've been watching the Goodwick games as well down there, and they play some decent rugby. They've got a decent pack, and they like to throw the ball about a bit. So, 24-all. It must have been a great game for the neutral, as they say, Ben.
And Fraser, you were in St David's, weren't you, as well? And you had a good game. You watched a very close game, didn't you?
A tremendous day, actually, Ben. They play for the Willington Slate Trophy. There's a poignant reason behind that, actually. And so Darryl Willington from Pembroke was down. It was sponsors' day there. There's a huge crowd, I have to say that. And Pembroke, fair play. They scored 5 tries. They looked down and out a couple of times and they rallied towards the end. But, we talk about it a lot, don't we? In terms of local rugby, yes, okay, from St David's point of view, disappointed with the late try and the defeat. But to watch a game that's 27-25, both sides going at it, plenty of tries, a very big crowd, and Pembroke, to be fair, staying very late into the evening. The club was packed there. It was one of those which has people clamouring for a Pembrokeshire League again. So despite the result, it was a good occasion. And Pembroke has to say very well. Number 8, Zach Jones, a hero. He got a couple of tries there, and they did very well to come back from that because they've had a couple of difficult results. And yeah, it was a pleasure to be at. I will say that.
Good stuff. All right, pembrokeshiresport.co.uk as well. Have a look there for some match reports and pictures from the weekend's action. We're going to come back for the final part of tonight's show. We'll have a look ahead to some football that's to come as the week goes on. Will Wales make it to the World Cup in the summer? They've got to get past Bosnia first, so we'll get some thoughts from the guys on that and wrap up some more of the weekend's action as well on Pure West Sport for a Monday evening.
Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors have traditional value.